Alright, hello all, welcome back to the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video here. Today we're going to be doing another How Tanky Can the Unit Get video. And this time around, I figured we, take a break from some of the modern characters. Which it does sound crazy calling this character not modern, but these guys, I mean, they're rapidly approaching 2 years old at this point. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, it's literally just another couple months here. So, obviously, the Saiyans with no limits here. I figured, this could be pretty fun to do. I'm honestly kind of surprised with myself that I hadn't gotten around to them sooner. It was just, there was that period where I did that, maybe I'll even link it. I did that really long video, once I had gotten them to 79%. And I mean, well, how long was that? That was genuinely like a 3-hour video or something. Like, I took them into every fight several times, like every endgame fight. And I think I just got... They did, well, by the end of that, to say the least, I think I just got to the point where I was done with the card for a while. So I hadn't gotten around to it. But, that being said, I would like to rectify that here. Now, I suppose this is going to work as like a pre-eza one. Because I do like to do, pre-ezas. And I say that because we're probably closer to the unit's EZA than their release. If I had to guess how they're going to do, and this is just real quick here, how I think they're going to do this sort of stuff going forward is I do think that they're going to start EZAing the worldwide sort of LRs with the new global celebration. So this year, I am highly anticipating we see all those 2022, cooler movie stuff, EZA, and then, of course, next year, the 8th anniversary LRs for, 11th anniversary, and the 2023 worldwide LRs for that global celebration. So, I mean, I think we're closer to their EZA than release, but, I hadn't gotten around to this. Now with these guys, I am going to do, this week. This is going to be the defense one. They do only stack defense on their 18 key. So, I mean, it's crazy how fast the environment of the game has changed. I mean, from 2023, I think the history of this character is so muddied because I genuinely do think that the blues on release were very strong, but it was the blues, and it was, once that intro ran out, I mean, there were issues, but, on release, they were decent, and they did stack. It's crazy going from, one single defense raise being considered, like, could be really good, to nowadays, I mean, every character releasing has like 4 greatly raised defense stacks, and I don't know, the environment of the game has changed so much. A lot of fun, a lot of big numbers, but it's just interesting how fast it's changed. But that all being said, I mean, let's get going here. Do our first couple turns as we do,
let's do this.
And then get to full-on stacking. Now, something that is worth noting with these guys, actually, real quick. I suppose I should have actually shown it there. They don't have phase 2 defense at all. Now, I mean, to be fair, like, you don't see, like, the gods or the Super Saiyan, 4 Gogeta have phase 2 defense. So it's not like it's needed, per se, for if you have the right kit, but they're not going to be on anywhere close to something like, Hit or Kefla or anything like that. Just get that out of the way. But still, I am curious. to see what we're gonna get them up to. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Tech UI's domain was gonna play there, or not domain, intro, and they're in slot 7. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna cut briefly here, and we'll come right back once they're getting on rotation. And I'll make sure that their intro plays. Well, good news. The Blues are rapidly approaching. Their intro should play here. If it let me click there we go. Yeah, it should play here. I'm very confident. Although I'll just reload this if it doesn't. Tech Vegito Blue. I do have him for the future Saga ally restriction of their intro. He did end up dying, so unfortunate. Yeah, of course, the one attack aimed at him from Int Zamasu was a super, so. We Saiyans have no limits. Let's charge together at full power. Wise words. So, with the Saiyans with no limits here, I do think they are going to end up looking pretty interesting. I should probably keep Tech UI here. The more we progress through with them. I mean, even though we don't have Phase 2, which is a pretty big deal, and they only stack defense once, and this is the defense, obviously, I do think, I mean, we do still have, like, Tech UI domain, we do still have the items, we do still have Gogeta active. So, well, I don't think they are going to be on the terms of what we see, like, more modern characters. I do think that more or less, I mean, they'll probably be roughly somewhere around, like, when I was starting out doing, like, the defense ones. Well, I don't know fully about that. I mean, that was only November, I think, of last year, the first one I did. Maybe a little bit earlier into, the year, but more or less, they're not, I mean, they came out 2023, what is it, the very, very end of August, like the last couple days. So, you do have to have that perspective in mind. I am just getting around to doing, and once again, this is more like a EZA soon, although I don't know if it's even, because that's the title I sort of have used for, like, some of the pre-EZA ones. But, I mean, I don't know if I can really call it soon. So, I mean, we'll see exactly what I end up, saying for this. But this is more like a pre-EZA than anything. So, they could look pretty good here, potentially. I mean, we'll have to see. But, I mean, it is just the one defense stack per turn, right? Normal defense stack, which obviously you would want more, but I mean, maybe even if, like, I do think the attack one could look pretty good too, but I mean, we'll have to see exactly what happens. Let me, Piccolo's gotta stand here. Yeah, I really want them to look good. I am, listen, Vegito Blue doesn't really do all that much in the future saga, but the fight is cool. I mean, the character's cool, so I would like to see Vegito Blue have good representation in the game. I mean, obviously there is, like, the EZA 5th year that was very good, relatively speaking, not that long ago. But until this year with Super Vegito, I mean, Vegito's been rotting in Dokkan. It's been pretty rough. I mean, as a Vegito fan, it was, I mean, 2020 was the heyday, and after 2020, it was like the Avatar vanished when he was needed most. So, I do think And this is a while off. So we're up to 446. I mean, we got what, like a 110 some odd K? Well, actually, no, we got a little bit less because weren't they more up to like 380? But to be fair, I mean, we did lose. We did rotate off. The Tech Goku, which does have 40% Patara support. So, I mean, when you factor in losing the support, I mean, we're losing like 100,000. Well, we gained like 100,000. Excuse me, there. So, I mean, they're not going to be the fastest stacker, especially when you consider we do actually still have 100% defense to lose. But it is worth noting that this isn't actually their full proper defense. They do have 150%. This is one of those buffs that is kind of weird. I did do the defense calc video not that long ago, and then I did the sort of comprehensive defense sort of guide as good as I could do, I think. Because I got questions about how to separate phases and guard and damage reduction, all that, which I suppose I'll link those. I planned on linking those in any of these like defense stacking videos, the breakdown, anything that I'm using stuff that goes into more like complex details of defense. But for this is one of those buffs that does activate phase 1, but as you can see, it's not. You can't see it yet. It activates like as soon as the last character collects the orbs. So, I mean, there is that defense to consider. So they are tankier than it looks. But I mean, even still, even their max power or whatever, they're not gonna come close to any like modern characters. I do think potentially the attack one could look good. I mean they can get 2 sort of attack stacks a turn. Right, it is 2. I think they have the built-in additional, and then they hidden potential. So, I mean, they can do several attacks, or do they even actually have 4? So, I don't. Okay, so it is 3 they can do. Listen, I have not used them in forever. I genuinely think the last time I used them was when I did that sort of long video. I mean, I might have used them on like an ECA or something where I just throw the characters in and auto battle. But besides that, I have not used this card in forever. So I would like them to look good, but I really want to hammer it because I'm so used to seeing like hit with his billions, and I mean all the characters I've been doing recently are reaching 300 mil, 400 mil, 500 mil. It's like, what the hell? Nowadays, I mean, the stacking gets crazy. He's not gonna get that far, so I mean we'll have to see. But I do think for in terms of like older characters that I have done, anything that's not like late last year or this year, I do think they could look pretty good, pretty up there, but I mean, we'll have to see. So that being said, I am going to get to stacking, so we could, see what we can get up to. I mean, we did have the 2 turns right there. Well, I do suppose actually, I'll play this turn out real quick, and then at the start of next turn, we'll look to see what defense they're at now that we did lose the intro buff, and then after that I'll cut away. So I am pretty excited to see what they're gonna get up to here, but I really want to, this character could have been so much more, and I hate that because I don't know if people even remember at this point. But they did an app update right before they released these guys. It was, well, maybe like more like a month, but there was a sort of and you could still do it with characters, take the Gammas for example. They're sort of modern example of like you grab the orbs with the character, you do the giant, and then you grab the different orbs so you get more abilities. You know, you could do that sort of giant tech for characters with guard in the past, except they did change how a lot of those. They changed how that interaction works, so you couldn't do it anymore. So the thing that really just stood out to me and like defined this character's existence, unfortunately, was before they even released, they did an update to change how the guard worked, just to make sure Vegito Blue couldn't get it. But even going further than that, right? The intro doesn't last long enough for the guard to even like be able to go to Vegito Blue transform. So I feel like something must have happened in development with these characters, something like awful, where they were originally planned to have a longer intro, so they wouldn't have had that dead turn, but they like changed it last minute or something. I don't know. But I mean, here we are. We are up to 392,791. Like I said, we did take that sort of defensive hit, but we're still here. We're essentially just how we were the first turn without a stack, right? So I mean, it's not like it's a huge setback losing that 100%, because they do already have a massive amount of phase one. That is something that is important to note. I mean, when you have all of this phase one, all the numbers in one phase, they don't mean as much, right? So, I mean, they did lose some of their defensive ability, but we should still be fine here. It's not like the biggest deal, and once again, we still can't see that 150. But that being said, at this point, I am going to get the stacking, and we will come back, as late as we can, as per usual, and we will see just how tanky the Saiyans with no limits, Vegito Blue can get. All right, so we are back here, and we are up to turn 99. So I've gotten as much stacks as I can. I'm pretty confident I've gotten 18 key off every single turn, and we are up to 3,706,976 defense. The sort of out of game formula here, we're up to 3,707,002. So, I mean, we're a bit higher there. I know I say this every time, but I do like to make a note of it. It is a bit off, but as far as I can do on my end, the formula, the math, whatever is correct. It's just like either how the calculator here, formula, whatever, or Dokkan itself deals with, like, I have to imagine like the 10th place or even the 100th place. So we're talking about decimals, rounding up, rounding down, whatever. But I mean, we're close enough. So I mean, certainly when you look at something like some of the most recent ones we've done, like Hit, I think started up at 28 mil when we were at this point, just at the start of the turn. I think Kefla was up to what, like 24, 25, something like that. So when you compare to those two, I mean, certainly not nearly as high. But makes sense. One stack a turn, it's a 30% stack. They don't have like phase 2 buffs. I'm not even sure if they have as much phase 1 as they do, because once again, I mean, this buff's not active right now, so they literally just have 150%. But that is obviously written as 2.5 there. So I mean, they literally just have the 150% phase 1. We don't have any like phase 1 support up right now. Glorio obviously isn't on Tech Vegito's team, so otherwise I would be using him. I do want to use Blue Vegito here, obviously, with the full 220 buff. That aside, though, I suppose, with these defense ones, I do just go straight into like transforming and everything. So that's what we are going to do. Let's just get all these animations out of the way. I'll go straight into Gogeta and the UIs and everything too, so. Alright, so just from transforming here, real quick, we do obviously get, from 150 up to 250. And now we're up to 4,942,639. So a decent buff just for, getting the transformation off here. That's... Right? Hold on, that doesn't seem entirely... we probably have links. That's what's throwing it off. I was like, what's going on? Because now it's massively higher. We did actually also lose prepared for battle. So there we go. That explains it. So 4,942,639 in-game, 4,942,669 out of game. So obviously, once again, small discrepancy, but not that... it's not that large of a gap here. So now let me go into Tech UI. Okay, now obviously, using the domain here, we do get the pretty impactful, although it's not going to appear as much per se, given that, we don't have as explosive amounts of defense as we do with like Kefler or something. But we do get obviously the 15% buff, as Vegeta Blue is obviously super, and that does put us at 5,684,035. So let's just put that here, and the formula here 5,684,069. Now, obviously, very big, very important part here. We do have Gogeta. So we're gonna go into Gogeta, who does he? I don't think he actually supports Vegito. However, obviously we will then have Fuse Fighter, as well as obviously the active. So. Okay, so Gogeta active, and we do obviously now have Fuse Fighter. We are up to 9,191,072. So let me add these in here real quick. And then Fuse Fighter is just 5%, right? Yeah, okay. I always forget if it's 5% or 7%. I don't know why I always do that. So the out-of-game formula here, 9,191,140. So, I mean, considering where we started off, we have jumped up quite a bit. We do obviously also still have, he can get several supers here. So we'll see if, we get a huge jump up from that. As well as we do have the items here. So we're going to pop those real quick. Thankfully, we do already have 20 key, because Monster Care obviously does not give us key. So Vegito does still have his guaranteed super, so that is good. Now, let's grab this, which gives us a 345% increase to defense. So we are now at 40,900,284, which right there is 4.5, or 4.45. 40,900,577. And then we do have Android 8, of course, which gives us the 50%, which we are now at total 395%, but on here, 4.95. So we're up to 45 mil, 495,836. 45 mil, 496,147. So I mean, once again, you know, it's not anywhere close at all to all these characters, you know, Vegito and Gogeta and, you know, the Seventh Years and Hit and Kefla and all of these, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you know, all of these you know, big characters from this year, right? Obviously, significantly higher. Even like you know, like EZA Tech Gohan was like the first one I did, I think. You know, obviously he's higher, so, you know, once again, putting into perspective, this is a 2023 character. This is more so works as a, you know, quote unquote EZA soon, but I'm not even gonna probably call it that. You know, it is more so like it's just like a pre-EZA at this point. So I mean, we'll have to see what he's getting up to, obviously, once an EZA comes. But just to have this, you know, obviously this Vegeta flu. I mean, you gotta do him, right? This is like the one character that just like transcended Dokkan Battle. I don't know if like any other character. I mean, sure, there's been characters that have like trended on Twitter or whatever, but I mean, he like, you have like the official Bandai tweeting about it. You have people who don't even like know what Dokkan is talking about it. Like, Vegito Blue does have that motion, even though it's for all the wrong reasons. That being said, though, I mean, let's see what we have here from the supers. I mean, all things considered, because we don't actually have that big of a super attack effect. You know, we don't have that many stacks. When you consider like a Hit or a Kefla, you know, who's getting 50%, potentially 4 times a turn, we're getting 30% once a turn. So, I mean, unlike some of those other ones, I mean, these super attack effects could actually jump us up quite a bit. But I mean, we'll have to see. Let's go here. What do you got for us, Vegito? Let's see it. Okay, so by the way, every one of these are 50%. So that puts us at 15.6. So we're at 47 mil. 2,642. That's a normal. Okay, we do have this, so that's another 50%. So that puts us at 16.1. Oh, 48 mil, 509,137. And we do get the hidden potential. So that's one final, I believe that's the last one we can do. I could be wrong. So that puts us at 16.6. 50 mil, 15,632. So, I mean, we did end up breaking 50 mil there at least. I mean, there is that. But, you know, once again, obviously not nearly anywhere close to what some of these other big characters are doing. But, once again, this is a 2023 character. I will say, though, I do think, you know, I really don't want to be eating my own words like a year from now, year or so. A year and some change, hopefully. But, well, it might even be a bit, because they'd probably EZA him later into the celebration. So it might genuinely be, you know, a year and 2 months or something, year and 3 months. Hopefully, like the earliest we could see. But point being, you know, I do think his EZA does have a lot of good potential. I mean, we'll have to see, of course, but his raw defensive stat is pretty good. I mean, he already is stacking. You know, we gotta think, I mean, what's a halfway through 11th year anniversary meta gonna be looking like? And I do think they will give him, obviously, at bare minimum, great stacking defense and great stacking attack. If they don't just straight up add, you know, defense and attack to both 18 and 12 keys, to make him obviously stack a bit better. So I mean, we'll have to see all the things they do, but you know, I mean, mine is rainbow. You know, I do have the defense equips here, but I think it is worth noting, like 17,319, like that is a very huge raw defensive stat. You know, he doesn't have any phase 2 right now. I mean, if we just take a look at I mean, here's a rainbow tech Vegito friend. He's at 17,288. And what does he have? I mean, he has the insane, you know, free equips that this guy gives. You know, we'll have to see if they start really adding these insane equips to the worldwide characters. I do think they will. So, I mean, Vegito, you know, he could even end up with higher defense than this. So I do think, you know, especially because, you know, as incompetent as the devs can be, they do know that certain characters have motion. Now, this character has motion for all the wrong reasons. You know, another character, ironically, that has a lot of motion, I do think, is Raditz. So, I mean, there are characters like that, you know, while they were not the best aging or the best on release, and they have motion for the wrong reasons. I don't think Dokkan would be, you know, we'll see, but I don't think they'd be stupid enough to just, like, completely miss out on the EZAs. I mean, EZAs are, like, some of the biggest things they do for the game, obviously, so I'm pretty hopeful for this guy, but it's obviously quite a while off at this point, but we'll have to see. Now, I will do an attack one also a little bit later this week, so, I mean, we'll see how he's looking there. Obviously, we'll change up the setup here. We'll make sure to have all the good links, and because those sort of godly power and whatever links can be pretty important. Obviously, we'll have the better items, so I do think he could look pretty decent there, but I mean, we'll have to see, of course. But that'll do it here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.